You know that sinking feeling you get when the phone or internet bill arrives every single month? Yeah, you're definitely not alone in that. But here's the thing, there is a legitimate government-backed solution out there that you might be completely overlooking. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are going to completely demystify the Lifeline application process. We're going to cut through the confusion, get rid of the stress, and give you a really clear step-by-step path to getting connected for way less.
So, let's talk real numbers right out of the gate, just to show you exactly why this is absolutely worth your time. If you live on qualifying tribal lands, the Lifeline program provides a monthly discount of up to $34.25 off the cost of your phone, internet, or bundled services. And for everyone else who qualifies, it's a standard discount of up to $9.25 every single month. I mean, that is real money going right back into your pocket month after month just for going through a pretty simple verification process. All right, here is our game plan for This Explainer. First, the Lifeline program basics, then checking your eligibility. Third, gathering required documents. Fourth, the step-by-step online application. Fifth, after submission expectations. And finally, maintaining your Lifeline benefit. Okay, let's jump right into Section 1, the Lifeline program basics, what it is and why it matters.
Essentially, Lifeline is a federal program. It's administered by the Universal Service Administrative Company, usually just called USAC, and overseen by the Federal Communications Commission. Its whole purpose is to make communication services more affordable for eligible low-income folks. But listen up, because here is the absolute most important rule. The program is strictly limited to one discount per household. Now, for Lifeline, a household means a group of people who live together and share income and expenses. So if you're all pooling your resources under one roof, you cannot stack multiple discounts. It's one per household, period.
Moving right along to Section 2, checking your eligibility, understanding the paths to qualification. Let's cast a wide net and see if you actually qualify. It really comes down to this super simple rule of two. You qualify through either a government program or your income level. You absolutely do not need to meet both. If you, a dependent, or someone in your household already gets SNAP, Medicaid, Supplemental Security Income, the Veterans Pension, or federal public housing assistance, boom, you're practically already in. Alternatively, if your household income is at or below 135% of the federal poverty guidelines, you also qualify. Basically, just pick whatever path is easiest for you to prove. Now, I do want to highlight a really important exception here. Under the Safe Connections Act of 2022, if you are a survivor of domestic violence, human trafficking, or related crimes, you have a specially protected application pathway. The system actually puts additional safeguards in place to protect your info so an abuser can't see critical data like your address. If you apply under this status, you get a dedicated 6-month benefit period for emergency communication support. After that, you can just apply for the standard Lifeline benefit. All right, Section 3, gathering required documents, preempting the roadblocks. Think of this as your pre-flight checklist. The biggest mistake people make is starting the application and then having to stop halfway to go dig through old shoeboxes in the closet. Depending on how you're qualifying, you need to prove your identity, your income, or your program participation. For identity, an unexpired state ID, driver's license, or a social security card works great. Applying based on income, grab a W-2 from the last 2 years, a recent pay stub, or last year's tax return. Applying via a program like SNAP, you need the official government letters stating you participate. For tribal applicants, your tribal ID or certificate of degree of Indian blood is required. And emancipated minors, you'll need that specific court document. And hey, a quick pro tip, it's not just about having the piece of paper. It's about what that paper clearly shows. For the national verifier to accept your document, it has to clearly show your first and last name. It also needs the relevant details, like your full ID number or an issue date within the last 12 months for a benefit program. Whatever you do, don't upload a blurry photo where your name is cut off. It'll just get rejected and slow you down. Which brings us to Section 4, step-by-step online application, navigating the national verifier. Let's walk through the actual clicks. I promise, this system is designed to be accessible even if you're not super tech-savvy. Step 1, open your web browser, go to lifelinesupport.org, and hit that massive Apply Now button. Step 2, it's going to ask if you're applying as a survivor under the Safe Connections Act or just doing a standard application. Pick your route. Step 3, enter your full, legal name, no nicknames allowed here, and your date of birth. Step 4, just follow the prompts, and if it asks, upload those photos or scans of the documents we just got ready. Honestly, when you land on lifelinesupport.org, you'll see the interface is super clean and modern. The Apply Now button is practically impossible to miss. And once you're in, notice how it explicitly asks for your legal name, broken down into first, middle, and last name fields. It's just a helpful little nudge to type it exactly as it appears on your official documents, like your Social Security card. But let's pause for a second because we need to address a really common question. What if you fill everything out perfectly, hit submit, and the system pops up saying it can't automatically verify your eligibility? For a lot of folks, this feels like an immediate rejection. They think, oh great, I did it wrong. Actually, scratch that, it is totally normal. Seriously, don't panic. Sometimes the government databases just aren't perfectly synced up on that particular day. If this happens to you, the portal will simply prompt you to manually upload those photos of your documentation we talked about. Or if you're more comfortable with paper, you can literally print out an application and mail physical copies of your documents straight to the USAC Lifeline Support Center in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. You've got options. A manual review just means a real live human is going to look at your paperwork and approve it.
Next up, Section 5, After Submission Expectations, Timelines, and Next Steps.
Let's manage those expectations, because waiting is always the hardest part, right? If the national verifier automatically confirms your details online, your approval is basically immediate. If you're in that group needing a manual paper review, expect it to take about 3 to 4 weeks. And there are a few exceptions. If you live in an opt-out state like Oregon or Texas, you don't even use the national verifier. You use your state's Public Utility Commission portal. In Oregon, for instance, getting that approval can take up to 60 days. So just hang tight and let the process run its course. Now listen closely, because this is a vital step that so many people miss. Getting an approval letter from the government does not automatically give you a phone or lower your current bill. Approval is literally just step 1. Once you're approved, you have to go back to lifelinesupport.org and use their company's Near Me tool. You punch in your zip code, and it gives you a list of participating providers in your area. You then have to actively contact one of those companies. Tell them, hey, I'm an approved Lifeline subscriber, and formally enroll to actually get the discount applied. Finally, Section 6, Maintaining your Lifeline benefit, Staying compliant. You did the work, you got the discount. Now let's make sure you don't lose it over a silly oversight. Lifeline has strict compliance rules. First, you'll be required to complete an annual recertification to prove you're still eligible. The system tries to do this automatically, but if it can't, they'll send you a notice. Whatever you do, do not ignore that notice, or you will lose your discount. Also, you have to tell your provider immediately if you move. And lastly, if your income goes up or you leave a program like SNAP, you are legally obligated to let your provider know you don't meet the criteria anymore. So what does this all mean for you? Well, you've earned this benefit through your circumstances, and now you have the exact roadmap to claim it. Are you ready to claim your connection today? Gather those documents and take that first step. Now, a quick disclaimer to wrap us up. Program rules, portals, and specific dollar amounts can occasionally change. The info in this explainer is accurate based on official guidelines as of our current reporting, but we always advise verifying the final details directly on lifelinesupport.org or with your state's Public Utility Commission before you apply. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, here's to lowering those monthly bills.